Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Linnea Nelson. I'm your worship associate for today. And with me in today's service are our worship leader, Reverend Margalie, Belizaire, our director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall, and our director of music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, as well as soloist Julia Willison, welcome, and board member Debbie Reinhardt. Children, you'll be going to supervised free play after we sing you out, after the time for all ages, and the nursery is open until noon. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore the Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we are a non-creedal community that does not subscribe to a specific set of beliefs. We live by a covenant that encourages ethical behavior, affirms democracy, celebrates the worth of each individual, and unites us in a search for truth and meaning. Whether today is your first time or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. And we have a few special announcements today. Remember that next Saturday we have a field trip to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Oviedo. RSVP is required, but all ages are encouraged to participate. And also this week on Wednesday, a special Vespers service on Lament with all the reverends scheduled for Wednesday, November 29th at 6 p.m., both here in the sanctuary and streamed on Zoom. This will be an opportunity for us to engage our grief and our sorrow. And thank you to the many 1U members, friends, and guests who attended the lovely post-Thanksgiving potluck in Gore Hall on Friday. Many thanks to the team organizers and the many, many wonderful 1U cooks, they really can cook, who provided delicious food and setup and cleanup. It was a delightful community event. All other announcements are on slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you would like to follow along to the service, please use the QR code shown in the monitor and on the first few slides. Thanks again for being here in person and online today.
Please say the words with me as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And now please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. The words will appear on the screens. It is good to be here with you this morning on the last Sunday of November. And as you know, during this month, or as you might remember, during this month, we have been exploring the theme of generosity. Also, many of us have just celebrated Thanksgiving, and we are right into the start of the holiday season here in the U.S. And this is also a time when people tend to be extra generous. This is why I am inviting you to explore the good feelings we experience when we give of ourselves and of our resources. Let us lean into the joy of this season as we practice generosity. And in that vein, I call us to worship with this story from poet Naomi Nye, Gate A4. Wandering around the Albuquerque airport terminal, after learning my flight had been delayed 4 hours, I heard an announcement. If anyone in the vicinity of Gate A4 understands any Arabic, please come to the gate immediately. Well, one pauses these days. Gate A4 was my own gate. I went there. An older woman in full traditional Palestinian embroidered dress, just like my grandma wore, was crumpled to the floor wailing. "Help," said the flight attendant. "Talk to her. What's her problem? We told her flight was going to be late and she did this." I stooped to put my arms around the woman and spoke haltingly. "Shu do'a, shu bidok, habati," and I apologize for those who speak Arabic profusely. The minute she heard any words she knew, however poorly used, she stopped crying. She thought the flight had been canceled entirely. She needed to be in El Paso for major medical treatment the next day. I said, no, we're fine. You'll get there, just later. Who's picking you up? Let's call him. We called her son. I spoke with him in English. I told him I would stay with his mother till we got on the plane and ride next to her. She talked to him. Then we called her other sons, just for the fun of it. Then we called my dad, and he spoke, and she spoke for a while in Arabic and found out that they had 10 shared friends. Then I thought, just for the heck of it, why not call some Palestinian poets I know and let them chat with her? This all took up 2 hours. She was laughing a lot by then, telling of her life, patting my knee, answering questions. She had pulled a sack of homemade mamul cookies, like little powdered sugar crumbly mounds stuffed with dates and nuts, from her bag and was offering them to all the women at the gate. To my amazement, not a single woman declined. It was like a sacrament. The traveler from Argentina, the mom from California, the lovely woman from Laredo, we were all covered with the same powdered sugar and smiling. There is no better cookie. And then the airline broke out free apple juice from huge coolers, and 2 little girls from our flight ran around serving it, and they were covered with powdered sugar too. And I noticed my new best friend, by now we were holding hands, had a potted plant poking out of her bag, some medicinal thing with green furry leaves. Such an old tradition. Always carry a plant. Always stay rooted to somewhere. And I looked around that gate of late and weary ones, and I thought, this is the world I want to live in, the shared world. Not a single person at that gate, once the crying confusion stopped, seemed apprehensive about any other person. They took the cookies. I wanted to hug all these other women too. This can still be anywhere. Not everything is lost. May we all experience such joy, connection, and giving and in receiving. And now, beloveds, let us worship together. And to begin, let's greet one another. Say hello. And of course, Aubrey will come with the mean piano to stop us.
That's not a mean piano at all. And yet it brought us joy. How wonderful. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, there's a story, there are a couple versions of this story out there called Have You Filled Your Bucket Today? Has anyone seen or read that story? Any? No DREs or no? Okay, I see a couple of nods. Okay, good. So it's a story about the metaphor for kids and adults about how we start our days carrying a metaphorical bucket with us. And it's full of the stuff of our lives and that goodness of our lives mostly. And as we go through our day, we're either filling the bucket or it's being emptied. Oddly enough, when we fill the bucket, we are often doing something for somebody. We are doing something good. We are saying, Charlotte, those are the most awesome slacks I have ever seen. And that fills the bucket. Sometimes people are they call bucket dippers. They're taken out of your bucket and they're bumping into you in line and not saying, excuse me. They're shutting the door in your face. What else might they do? Cut you off in line. One more time.
Honk their horn at you.
Honk their horn at you. Ignore you when you're talking to them. And that means the goodness, the comfort, the happiness in life sometimes gets depleted out of your bucket. Sometimes when you're giving to people, you are low on reserves, and giving is actually emptying your bucket because you are wiped out. So sometimes we have to know to preserve ourselves as well. So today, I want you to think about ways to give and ways to fill your own buckets and fill other people's buckets. And I need 2 volunteers. Jaden. And I need one more. It could be kids, but I will. Do you both want to come and help? Okay, I'll take the kids. But sorry, Charlotte, next time. And what they're going to do is they're going to walk through and let you take out of these 2 baskets or buckets. And in here are either something nice that you might say or might be said to you, or a random act of kindness, and it's something you might challenge yourself with, or a piece of chocolate. Take one and share it, or as you see appropriate. So start and just hand them down and then take them back around. And we might move on Well, after you've had a chance, then we will, I know you, and then we will move on to the next thing. In the meantime, I would love to hear something you can say that is nice to your neighbor. So turn to your neighbor while you're doing this and say something nice to them. I'm running longer. You are wonderful too. I love that smile. I love your stories. So while my youth are giving away candy and you're reveling in those pleasant messages that you've just shared with one another, I'm going to go ahead and let the youth finish, but I'm going to sing out any younger kids that are here, and when they're done, they can join us outside so that Reverend Margalie and Linnea can go on with the service, and you're not here until 12:30 this afternoon. So, would you please? I don't know how many kids we have.
Good morning. I'm Debbie Reinhardt, a member of the Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values which sustains the life and ministries of the church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it is a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of this congregation. You can also donate to our Share the Plate recipient this month, Planned Parenthood. Remember that the Alliance will match the collection for Planned Parenthood up to $1,000, so please let us know if you donate to them. The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online using the link. let's joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
This is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or joy you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during the service. You can do so by emailing us at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org during the week. If you're attending in person at the welcome table, you can complete a card with your joy or your sorrows that the welcome team makes sure that we receive up here. And we also offer you an opportunity to silently reflect on your joy or your sorrow. So, bring your joys, bring your sorrows as we come together. Come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome here in this sacred space we are creating together. We have the flowers today. That is given by the flower team in recognition and thanks for Kat Rigsby's generous and talented help with all things computer for so many of us. Kat, I didn't see you in person, so I hope you are watching this. Either you are attending now or will watch this later and hear how much you are appreciated. And from the larger world community, of course, as always, we continue to hold our Orlando community in love as the state continues to need comfort and activism to eradicate hate. We also continue to hold the global community in loving as continued conflict besets communities around the world. And right now, it is good to see that there is a ceasefire, albeit temporary for now, and some of the hostages have been released. So hopefully those who are right in the middle of this are having a moment to catch their breath, and may this ceasefire become permanent. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today, and for all those held close to the heart, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send one another healing energy. And in an effort to remind us to slow down during this potentially stressful season, I invite us now into a guided meditation. This is modified from one that Reverend Susan Frederick Gray wrote. So don't worry about what doesn't feel right for you. Just let the words that don't feel right for you, let them wash over you. And with those that speak to you, let them get in your heart. So for now, if you would relax your bodies, try to get about 5% more comfortable than you are right now. And as you are willing, I invite you in this time of meditation and reflection and into this practice of gratitude. And it is also okay just to find a comfortable position to sit or stand, or whatever is most comfortable for you and your body to help you feel at ease. So, let's take a few relaxing breaths together. Let's take one more deep, relaxing breath together. Now breathe normally and feel free to close your eyes if that is most comfortable, or leave them gently open. Breathe in a way that feels comfortable and relaxing for you. I invite you at first to just pay attention to your body. If there is a place of tension or pain, imagine breathing your breath into that part of the body. Imagine the breath expanding that area of tension, and then breathing out through that pain and tightness, feeling the muscles release with the out-breath. With breathing in, expand your attention in any area of tension. Breathe out through that area, letting go the tension. Breathe in through areas of tension and out, letting go of that tension or pain, if you can. Now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart space, to your chest, maybe your abdomen if you prefer. Breathe, breathing that feels natural and relaxing. Just be aware of anything that you're feeling. If you're feeling joy or calm and peace, if you're feeling sadness or grief or anxiousness, be aware of it. Breathe alongside that feeling. Offer yourself compassion for whatever may be present to you right now. As you continue to breathe, ask yourself if there is anything or anyone you're feeling grateful for. Ask yourself in your heart, what or who are you grateful for? Is there anyone who is caring for you, showing you care, inspiring you, comforting you? Anyone who you love, who you are grateful for. Hold that person, these people, visualize them. Hold them in the gratitude that you feel for them. Breathe in that feeling of gratitude. Breathe out that gratitude for those loved ones. Continue to breathe. And as you do so, I invite you to think about anything about this day, anything that's happened, anything you're looking forward to. Just be present to that. Take it in. Hold in your attention anything you are grateful for this day, that you are looking forward to, anything that's present for you right now. Take a few more breaths and imagine opening your heart space, asking if there is anything else you're grateful for. Your friends, community, faith, connections that you appreciate and feel. Breathe in and imagine holding your mind to the people you are in relationship with. Breathe in gratitude for those people and those relationships. And it's okay if some of our relationships are mixed with emotions besides gratitude. Just be present with that. Breathe in. Breathe in the gratitude you feel. Breathe out gratitude across these connections. As you are ready, as you continue to breathe gently, you can bring your attention back to this time, to your body, to each other, gathered here in meditation. And as we close, and as you breathe gently, offer a word in silence, or out loud, or spoken, a word of gratitude for these gifts in your life. Be blessed. And as you continue to be grateful, you are invited to come forward and light a candle of remembrance, loving kindness, or hope. Our first candle honors the joys and concerns of those of you who are joining online. And the last candle will be for all those who are holding their joys and sorrows in this room. So we have lit a candle for those online.
Our reading today is from the Buddhist teacher Sally Jiko Tisdale, from As If There Is Nothing to Lose. Gratitude, the simple and profound feeling of being thankful, is the foundation of all generosity. I am generous when I believe that right here, right now, in this form and this place, I am myself being given what I need. Generosity requires that we relinquish something, and this is impossible if we are not glad for what we have. Otherwise, the giving hand closes into a fist and won't let go.
Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are free. Amen, amen, amen,
A friend asked me quite recently if I felt that I owed the world something. Well, let me back up a little bit. You see, when I was in junior high, I guess I'm backing up quite a bit. And as you hear this story, please know that I am fine and I'm being taken care of. So, when I was in junior high school, I severely injured my left knee while playing volleyball in PE. Physical education for those who might not be familiar with the term. As I reached to return a ball over the net, another team member reached out with the same purpose in mind, struck the ball, it did go over the net, then went on to bump into me, causing me to fall, and she in turn fell on top of me in the area of that left knee, to be more specific. We, my family that is, didn't have medical insurance, and I suppose the fact that my parents were immigrants who spoke English poorly didn't help my situation. Bottom line, I wasn't cared for by a medical professional. But not come to think of it, the PE teacher didn't send me to the nurse's office either, which would have certainly landed me in the hospital. But I guess that's another story. I was kept home for about a week, which is where my knee was cared for. Needless to say, it didn't heal properly and consequently has been a source of pain for me my entire life. There are other details about when I finally saw a doctor and so on, but they're not important to the telling of the story today. And please rest assured again that it has been taken care of and it's not a source for you to be concerned about. So this left knee pain has led to discomfort in my back and eventually to my right knee because those parts of the body were busy helping out that pesky left knee. Unfortunately, though, there has been more and more deterioration, increased pain, and shorter recovery periods in between the older I get, which is why my beloved asked me if I felt I owed the world something. I have a little sister through the Big Brother, Big Sister program, and 2 Saturdays ago, I took her to Universal Studios to an event where the women engineer of the park spoke with the little sisters about their jobs and their path to becoming engineers. Well, I didn't see how I could have said no to such an opportunity for Giselle, who's my little sister. As I see it, the more we are exposed to, the more options we have. I once heard it said that the biggest difference between the haves and the have-not is options. And I would like Giselle to be exposed to as many options as possible so that those options become possible futures for her, dreams for her to work towards. And you can't dream of being something if you're not even aware that it exists. If you can see it, you can be it. So that was my motivation for getting up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I am not a morning person. Being on my feet from about 7 a.m. to 12 noon, touring Universal Studios, and you know how big those parks can be, then staying afterwards to afford Giselle the opportunity to go on rides. By the time 12 noon came around, I could not imagine how I would get to my car because my knees and back were throbbing. Which is why I was asked if I felt that I owed the world something, putting myself through such pain in order to give of my time. Yes, I was in pain, and I got so much joy from volunteering as a mentor. And I give of my time and energy to this because of what it does for my heart. Do you have stories like that where you were working hard and in pain even, volunteering and feeling great joy while doing so? Now, granted, I might not have taken on this arduous undertaking had I realized how much standing and walking were involved. When I inquired prior to the event, I was assured that we would be moving about the park via go-karts. Well, that did not happen. And still, I do not regret that I did this. Seeing Giselle enjoying herself and making new friends, I got to connect with her and got to know her better. All of those things made my heart glad. Growing up, first as a Catholic, then as a Jehovah's Witness, I was taught that generosity was one's duty, a responsibility, something God commanded. Part of the early Christians' teachings is that charity is merely returning what we have stolen. And that may be correct because the world has more than enough to meet the needs of all of its inhabitants. So it can be reasoned that if we have more than we need and others have little or nothing, that we have their share. Therefore, we give back what is not ours. And in the 17th century, St. Vincent de Paul said that when he gave bread to the beggars, he got on his knees and asked for forgiveness. So he saw giving back as a duty. And more recently, author Shane Claiborne notes that True generosity is measured not by how much we give away, but by how much we have left, especially when we look at the needs of our neighbors. Then he continues, we have no right not to be charitable. We have no right not to be charitable. And that may be correct too. And I don't believe that there's anything wrong with giving out of duty or believing that we owe the world. Besides, most of us would agree that giving is a good idea and would give of ourselves when needs arise. At the same time, for many of us, what motivates our giving and keeps us giving is the good feeling, is in part the good feelings we experience when we do so. And I mean feeling good at a deep level, one that may be beyond our own understanding. The Buddha said, if you knew, as I do, the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing some of it. And reflecting on this phrase from the Buddha, mindfulness practitioner Beth Roth notes that generosity is this powerful because it is characterized by the inner quality of letting go or relinquishing. It reverses the forces that create suffering. It is a profound antidote for the strong habits of clinging, grasping, guarding, and attachment that leads to so much pain and suffering. Generosity brings happiness at every stage of its expression. We experience joy in forming the intention to give. We experience joy in the action of giving. And we experience joy in remembering what we have given. Wow! If all of this is happening as we practice generosity, why would we not feel a sense of lightness in our bodies as we engage in it? A sense of weightlessness as we participate in the act of giving. The giving, though, must be done with intention, or at least ought to be done with intention. And when that is the case, it is a spiritual experience. And giving in such a way of our time, our gifts, and treasures is a spiritual practice. But just remember, it is about how we engage the generosity. For some of us, we go through the act of giving without tapping into the joy of it. Maybe we're giving out of fear because we're gifted, so we're reciprocating. We're preemptively giving, expecting a gift in return out of duty, maintaining a certain reputation. And sometimes those things get us there because it is important for those receiving that we give, right? So sometimes that gets us there. At the same time, let us not let go of the joy of giving. As Gloria Dhamma, as Ambrosia, who's a Dhamma teacher, notes, it was as if the happiness of their giving lay hidden in the dark reaches of their minds, waiting to be brought to their hearts and enjoyed. But I think these apparent missed opportunities are completely understandable when we consider that while intellectually we may know the importance of offering our time and energy to things we value, most of us are not in touch with taking these acts to our hearts. So let your generosity, let your generous nature touch your heart and bring you joy. Because when we engage from a sense of responsibility only, we shortchange ourselves, or we cling to and act upon superficial ideas of goodness, expecting that mere compliance without deep investigation of the mind and heart will set us free. That's Ambrosia continuing. This joy doesn't only lift our spirits, it also provides great benefits to our bodies. Have you heard of the phenomenon called the helper's high? It is a release of endorphins, that is those natural mood elevating and pain reducing chemicals produced by the brain when we engage in an act of generosity. And scientific studies show that this release of endorphins result in that happy feeling, which motivates us to subsequently give more or give again. And all of this leads to lowered risk of mortality in older adults, decreased symptoms of stress, better sleep, increased ability to cope with physical pain and symptoms of chronic diseases, as I'm convinced was the case for me last Saturday, because like I said, I had no idea I was going to get to my car, but I did, I made it to my car. Significant decrease in blood pressure, stomach acid, and cholesterol level, increased hemoglobin A, which boosts our immune system. Wow. But many of you already know this. And these scientific studies also offer us ways to promote the most happiness when giving. For example, make it a choice. Make your giving a choice. Let it be because it is something or a cause that you believe in, or someone you want to invest into and see them, or then continue to grow and flourish. Make a connection whenever possible. It's not always possible. Whenever possible, get to know who or what you're making the choice to invest into. Commit to that cause, to that person, if it's possible. And also, make an impact. So as you connect with those you are investing in, you get to know the impact you're making. And all of that gives you greater joy as the giver. Do I owe the world something? Maybe, but no different from any other being. But it is not why I practice generosity. I heard or read the silly joke that says, if we are all helping others, what are others doing? Hopefully, they also are giving within their own means and capacity. Why do I give? I give because it serves a purpose and because it touches my heart and brings such joy to it. So, beloveds, as we enter this holiday season, may we give from whatever motivates us to do so, and may we allow ourselves to experience joy in our giving. Let your generosity touch the recesses of your heart and let it bring you joy. And may we not forget that it is indeed a good feeling to give. And now please rise and bow to your spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, number 346, Come, Sing a Song with Me. The words will be posted on the screens.
Hard to find.
Holiday season, I offer this blessing to you. May you live a loved life. May you never diminish your mind or limit your heart. May you stand calm in a wide moment between sky that lifts you and gravity that grounds you. May you let loving unfurl you, then give you away. May you remember you are nest, harbor, garden. May you pass life forward so that which came from those before you and that which grows and those next to you go on to those who will follow you. Donna Markova. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And your call to action today is whatever it is that motivates you to give. Give of yourself, give of your treasures, give of your gifts. But please remember to tap into the joy of giving. And now we will extinguish the chalice. If you would join me in saying the words to extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.